So I picked up some organic pasture-raised eggs. These are not the blue eggs that I love from Costco. Those are actually completely gone. So maybe that's part of the egg shortage. But we picked up these. We don't eat a ton of eggs. My son has gotten around to eating them for breakfast, but my husband and myself are very, very sensitive to eggs. So this is usually just to be baked in something. Next up this is gonna be Sprouts and Costco. So I picked up their grass-fed beef London broil. It was $21. Theirs is $13.99 a pound, and this has just been so good on Sundays. What I like to do is pair it with this, which is the Thomas pasture-fed boneless lamb leg steaks. This was $14.99 a pound, and it was only about $11 for this. So a delicious dinner that is going to feed us for dinner tonight, and we like to have leftovers for the next day for our lunches. And I just make that with some potatoes and carrots and celery and all the delicious things. Next up, again, I don't know what it is, but it's super hard to find pasture bird, which I'll show you those in a minute, pasture bird bone-in thighs. So I just picked these up. It was the boneless, skinless chicken thighs, very versatile. These were $3.99 a pound, so it was $12 for this giant. I'm sorry, they were, yep, $3.99 a pound, and this is the no antibiotics and no hormones or steroids. So this is just a really good option to have for so many different things. Really versatile, and just as versatile as things like chicken breast. So I picked up the triple pack as usual. This was the cheapest one that they had this week, and it was $31.27, but the way that I like to look at it is 10, 20, 30, you're about $10 a pack. And there are several chicken breasts in here. Sometimes there's 3, sometimes there's 4. So this is just really versatile, and I'm gonna use this in several ways. I like to use these for the baked or air fryer chicken tenders or chicken nuggets. This is one of the things that I use, and I'll usually just use 1 pack or a third of a pack, and it feeds us for a couple of different meals. I also like it for things like chicken pot pie. So that is $5.99 per pound, which is their typical price for that. Next up, I picked up the grass-fed and grass-finished beef, and this was from Costco. I was so excited to see this. It was $20 for this triple pack, and each pack is 1.33 pounds. So it's a little over a pound for each one of these. So I think that that's an excellent deal. From Aldi earlier this week, I picked up some of the ground lamb. My husband uses that for his breakfast. We make like a little hash with that. And then, of course, my favorite, I picked up 2 bags of the organic chicken sausage. They weren't on sale, but sometimes I'll grab 1 bag, sometimes I'll grab 2. It just depends. Next up, from Sprouts, I picked up the pasture bird. I mean, the price is just amazing. And they have mobile coops. They eat their natural diet, which they're not vegetarians, fresh grass, healthy soil, and you can actually trace where yours was from, which is really, really cool. And let me see. This was $3.94 for chicken legs. Really versatile. I love having chicken legs because it's such a great way to get in collagen, and this one was $4.14. These were $4.99 a pound. Then we picked up some wings. I think I have a couple packs of the wings. These were $5.11, $5.49 a pound for these. We love to have wings like once a week. I'll make air fryer wings with this. So that one was $4.72, and then this one was $3.84. So this is better than organic because this is more of a regenerative process. So no antibiotics, farmed with regenerative practices, non-GMO, so they're not getting any like animal feed that has genetically modified ingredients in it, because chickens are typically fed corn and soy, even when you're buying like the organic ones, unless it says different. And a lot of times they're fed GMO if it's like more the natural chicken as opposed to the organic. The organic chicken can't be fed GMO corn and soy as far as we know, right? But that's what they say. That is what I got for proteins for this week. Next up, I always pick up at least 1 or 2 bags of the 10-pound potatoes. I think these are under $5 this week. So we go through a lot of potatoes. So I picked up the russets this week. Next up, I picked up the Simple Mills almond flour crackers. I share these all the time, but the ingredients are really good and they're grain-free. I picked up the Chosen Foods mayo. I usually buy this once a month, depending on how much chicken salad or tuna salad we're going through. So pick that up this week, as well as some of their organic almond butter. This was only about $1.20 different from the regular almond butter that we typically get. We don't always buy this organic, but I just figured, for $1 and something more, let's go ahead because they raised the price of the regular one. Let me know if they've done that in your area too. Next up, some almond flour. Use this for pretty much everything that I bake. Next, some almond milk for my husband. This was from Sprouts. This was from, obviously my kid has already had some, but these were on sale. I think they were $9.99 this week, and this is just the Made Good granola minis, and they're just these little packs. These are really, really easy to just grab and go and put in your bag. And they have really decent ingredients. And they don't have a ton of sugar. So there's 6 grams of sugar for this little pack. So it's not terrible. And I usually give him something that has protein in it to go with it. Unless he's like running around on the playground, then I'll just let him have that. So these are nut-free, organic, and ingredients from vegetables. From Sprouts, I just picked up some of their organic celery because that's going to go in our roast that I make in the Instant Pot with the lamb and the London broil. And then I picked up organic broccoli florets. We still had some other produce here like green beans and zucchini and kale, so I didn't have to get a ton of vegetables this week. And then the organic coconut milk, I always get this. I totally forgot to share this. This is one of my favorites. This one in the Colina brand, if you are someone who can tolerate coconut, are some of the best dairy-free yogurts I've ever had. The ingredients, look at how simple that is. Absolutely love this. So good. And I like to use this as a substitute for sour cream, believe it or not. So good. And this, although it's $18 or $19, I forget, this one's just a really, really good olive oil. And I love that they show you when it's harvested. They show you there's a lot number, it's traceable, and this is an actual product of Italy as opposed to, a bunch of different mixed oils from all over the place that may not have the same standards. So that's why I like to get a pricier olive oil. And then you also want something that's in a dark glass because olive oil can oxidize and go rancid and then become something that's inflammatory to your body. So you want to get a dark bottle if possible in glass. I always buy my olive oil in glass because oil can actually break down plastic after a while and that will seep into your food. So that is why I like to buy all my oils in glass with the exception of coconut oil. That one does come in a plastic container, which I might be phasing that out. We'll see. But that's just a little tip. And then I did pop into Walmart to grab they have the best price on this. This is $3 and I think 18 cents in my area. And at Sprouts, this was 2 for $5 and that was their sale price. So I love to get this one. I love the ingredients on this. Really, really simple ingredients on that. Not perfect, but really, really great. So a lot of times I'll make my own stock. This week I did not. And last but not least, I have to have pink lady apples. These are my absolute favorite. So I make a warm chia pudding and I make some sauteed apples on the stove and a little bit of coconut oil with some cinnamon, and that is part of my breakfast. So I usually do a half of one. Sometimes I do 2, and then I love to give this to my kid as a snack with some pistachios or some nut butter or sometimes even for breakfast. Well, with his breakfast. So that is what we got this week. Until next time, your life matters, what you do with it matters. So what will you steward well?